June 4th, 2011 was not the typical Saturday. I was 1 week away from finishing my freshman year at North Central College in Naperville, and the last weekend before finals week was anything but a structured period of study. I woke up early that day, around 7, and I did my best not to wake up my roommate who had gone to bed not too long before. I got ready, fished out what was going to become an important outfit in my life. Black suit, white shirt, black tie. While everything was still quiet, I walked out of Patterson Hall into the beautiful late spring Naperville sunshine, fished out my keys, and to the dismay of the morning quiet, I started up my little red sports car, a 1997 Plymouth Breeze that you could hear coming for miles around. I turned onto Chicago Avenue, then Washington Street, then Hillside, then West Street, then Rickert Drive, then Plainfield Naperville Road. I had not yet heard of Weber Road. I hung a left on Route 59, then on Route 30, then to a mysterious six-cornered intersection, and I turned right onto Raynor Avenue, and I arrived at the Cathedral of St. Raymond, Nonnatus. A priest was going to be ordained that day by a bishop who all I knew was very tall and whose last name was also the species of a bird, seagull. And since I was in discernment lingo at the time, I had finished all my interviews and evaluations and was waiting to hear whether I'd been accepted or not. I'd been invited to attend. I had driven by the cathedral almost every Sunday for 6 months on the way from North Central to Father Burke's house on Center Street for a discernment group with other guys thinking about the seminary. But I'd never been inside. I'd only seen pictures. When I was younger, as a thank you for our contribution to the annual appeal one year, we got a card in the mail with a picture of the cathedral decorated for Christmas. Too many trees, I thought. So I parked my red sports car, and I walked in the side door, that one, and I stopped in my tracks. I could not believe my eyes. I had never seen a church like this. I had never been to a mass like that. The procession and the incense and the music and the tall bishop, whose name I now know is not the same as the bird. I was captivated. I could not stop staring at the ceiling. When I left there, I remember thinking, I'm so glad I get to feel at home in a place like that. Fast forward. It's Monday of Holy Week, March 26th, 2018. It's Chrism Day at the cathedral, and all the priests are here with the seminarians and representatives from every parish in the diocese. There's a buzz in the air because in 2 months to the day, the largest ordination class in years will become priests. And in the St. Raymond School Teachers Lounge at this very moment, the priest placement board was meeting to finalize their assignments. Around 6:30 p.m., I remember the board emerged from their meeting, and the 7 deacons are met by a priest named Father Bill Dewan, the vicar for priests, who had just been named the 7th rector of the cathedral. And he asked us to meet in the vestibule, and he said, "Well, boys, would you like to know where you're beginning your ministry?" Then he went down the list. Deacon McMahon, you're going to St. Mary's in Plainfield. Congratulations. Deacon Niamai, you will go to St. Mary's in West Chicago. Congratulations. Deacon Baina, you will go to St. Michael's in Wheaton. Congratulations. Deacon Oliveros, you will go to St. Andrew's in Romeoville. Congratulations. Deacon Olafson, you will go to St. Dominic in Bolingbrook. Congratulations. Deacon Haran, you will go to St. John Paul II in Kankakee. Congratulations. Deacon Ryan, a pause. And Father Bill looked at me, and with a smile and a handshake, he said, "Welcome home." And as I shared with you in April when I first announced that I would be leaving, this place has become home indeed. Having a newly ordained priest come to your parish is a unique opportunity and a challenge. It's a bit like having a new puppy. It's a challenge because you are faced with the reality that someone squeaky and new has just fallen out of the sky and into your lives and has absolutely no idea what he is doing. And it's up to you to teach him. And teach me you have. You've taught me to loosen up in some ways and to firm up in others. You've taught me not to live so dangerously close to the edge of agitation. You've taught me what humility looks like and what courage looks like. And you've shown me that despite what the media tells us, or what crazy Aunt Susan tells us, and even sometimes what our own minds and even our own actions tell us, that despite all of this, you have shown me that here in this town, on these streets, there is a people that hungers for Christ. There is a people who hunger for the truth, for a life that is good and beautiful. We have prayed together. We've worshiped together. You've trusted me with your heaviest sins, your greatest burdens and fears. We've laughed together, and some of us have cried together. We have lived life together. And this, I think, is a hallmark of what it means to be a Christian community. It's not all parties and parades. It's not always Christmas and Easter. It's not always exciting and adventurous. Sometimes it's just life. Live together with humility, authenticity, and truth, and trying harder every day to be a bit more like Jesus. Together. Forgiving when that's necessary, encouraging when that's needed, correcting or challenging as the case may be. It is the Eucharist that we celebrate in this church that becomes for us our bond of unity and our source of charity. So much so that it is possible for us to look at someone here we've never even met, like some college kid dressed in his best, staring at a ceiling on a Saturday morning in June. It is possible to look at such a person and to be one with him because you are one with Jesus. Someone asked me a couple of weeks ago what I hope to have been able to teach you. There are some obvious things. I hope that you have increased your donut intake exponentially, regardless of where you got them. I hope that you finally understand why Chili's is one of the basic food groups and is necessary for a well-balanced life. I hope that the message on the sign in my living room window in the rectory has drilled itself into your deepest self. That you, yes, you, are loved. I hope that I have been able to show you that religion need not always be dreary, that serious things are not always dreary, and that sometimes the dreariest things do not seem so serious at all. I hope that I have been able to show you that Jesus is real and living in our midst, and that a relationship with him is possible. I hope that I have shown you that a life given to him makes life more interesting, not less, more joyful, not less, and that in him we are more free, more truly ourselves, more wholeheartedly alive, not less. We learn in the gospel today that Jesus is our teacher, he's our friend, but he's our fellow traveler, and that he does care that we are perishing. That calling on him, even questioning him, as his disciples did, will never have a negative effect. The most important lesson of all is perhaps the most stark and the most difficult to really wrap our minds around. There are no coincidences, and this is no exception. that the absolute most central line in the entire New Testament for my conversion and my worldview is found in the second reading today. Whoever is in Christ is a new creation. The old things have passed away, new things have come. Whoever is in Christ is a new creation. What else does this mean except that in Jesus, because of Jesus, with Jesus, everything is different? That it is possible to live a life without fear, without condemnation, without judgment, and without anxiety. This is the truth that underpins the entire Christian worldview. Why does the church teach blank? Because she believes that in Christ, everyone is different. Everything is new. And yet so many of us, myself included, like all the time, have used the person of Jesus or certain lines in the gospel to justify the things, the attitudes that Jesus actually came to eradicate from the face of the earth. I look around sometimes at the state of things, at the personalities in the church or in the world, and I think, this cannot be what God had in mind. So I have this hunger, which manifests itself as teaching and learning, to steep myself in finding out what God might be proposing to the world through the church, through my ministry as his priest, and through our community here that spreads far and wide and deep into our city and beyond. If 25 years from now you're walking the dog or watering the plants or in the delivery room or presenting to the board or changing your oil or in the drive-through line at McDonald's, if maybe you just dropped someone off at college or you're starting a new job or you're learning to sail or you're watching a concert, if in the midst of your life, wherever it takes you, up or down or in between and all around, if you happen to remember a certain balding 29-year-old priest you once knew, I hope that you remember his quirks and his faults less than you remember what he told you. That with God all things are possible, that in Jesus all things are bearable, and that in Christ everything can be different, because in Christ everything is new. But you have to let yourself and your worldview be changed by him, often through suffering. If there is no peace and there is no joy, ask yourself, where is the reservation in my heart? Today I want to encourage you, these words from John Paul II, who said that it is Jesus that you seek when you dream of happiness. He is waiting for you when nothing else you find satisfies you. He is the beauty to which you are so attracted. It is he who provoked you with the thirst for fullness that will not let you settle for compromise. It is he who urges you to shed the mask of a false life, and it is he who reads in your heart your most genuine choices. So, here's to us, to this community, to this place which has proclaimed Christ in this little world for 100 years. We are truly the fools of God. To those beloved fools who, blinded by his glory, see not the nose in front of their faces, who know no knowledge and can count only to 3, who are always lost, yet forever know the way, who flee what others love and love what others flee, who squander what others save and save what others squander, who sing when others weep and weep when others sing, who die when others live and live when others die. The wisdom of God is the folly of man, and here's to us, the fools of God. On June 20th, 2018, I moved in. The Cathedral of St. Raymond became my home. And on June 20th, 2021, or thereabout, From the bottom of my heart, I say goodbye. And truly, truly, thank you.